Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Healing Honey if it's your first time here. And so today I want to talk about something I haven't talked about in a while, but I know that so many of you find me through this topic. So let's talk about ganja. Let's talk about marijuana. Let's talk about weed. And I want to share with you why I stopped smoking weed. Okay, and this is really crazy, you guys, because if you've checked out some of my old videos, then you know that I smoked weed every single day for like over 10 years. It was just part of my self-identity. It was just a habit I picked up. I didn't think it was a big deal. I'm from LA, California. So many people smoke weed. It doesn't matter the color of your skin, your age, like it's legal in California now, and it's not really such a big deal. It's like there's weed shops in all the different cities, Orange County, whatever. You know, you could be a surfer smoking weed, you could be in LA in the hood smoking weed, like Pasadena, it doesn't really matter. And so it's just something I grew up around and something that I just did for a long time. Okay, and so I decided several years ago I didn't want to live that lifestyle anymore. I became a mother, I was starting to mature, grow up, and I just was like, let me stop. And I definitely healed myself from that. I quit that addiction. I don't really see it as an addiction. I know people like to be like, oh, go to rehab, you're an addict and all this crazy stuff. It's like, to me, it's not that big of a deal. It's not that serious, but it does take a lot of effort at first to quit and to stop. And I was checking out some of my old videos from 2 years ago, and I noticed such a difference. You know, I've been on a deep spiritual journey. Stopping weed was just one part of my spiritual awakening. I've been on a celibacy journey. I went plant-based, and just my life completely shifted in so many ways. And so when I look back at those videos, I see myself in a completely different light. Now, being in a sober mindset, being in a more healthy place, there's some things I want to share with you guys. There's a dark side to smoking weed, and this is the stuff that we don't really hear about. And so drop me a comment, let me know your thoughts. This video is not to trigger you, it's not to shame you. It's nothing to feel guilty about or bad about. It's about awareness and honesty. On this channel, I keep it raw and real. We are not on earth to be perfect. We're on earth to grow and to learn. So yes, our challenge might be smoking weed and stopping that. But for someone else, they're going to face different challenges in life. Nobody's going to come out 100% clean because we're here to learn and grow. Okay, and so I'm sharing these things because it's something I never stopped to realize at the time, and also I wasn't able to, because I was in a different place in my life. I was still in that space. Okay, and so now 2 years later, looking at myself, I want to share with you what I see. Okay, and I hope this video can help you in some way. If it does, then drop me a comment, let me know how, and make sure to subscribe. On this channel, I love focusing on self-love, how we can heal ourselves from the inside out, and spiritual things and things to help us grow, feel good. You know, so they say that weed, marijuana, is supposed to help you feel peaceful, right? It's supposed to help you feel calm. But let me share with you something that I've realized, okay? It's supposed to make you feel peaceful, but the truth is that it can also create so much anxiety. Okay, and so especially when you're smoking constantly, because everything in life is about balance. So if you're overdoing it, if you're doing it every day, if you're abusing it, if you're abusing its magical powers, because it is an herb and it does have healing properties, but too much of anything is not good for us. And so if we're using it every single day, it can make us feel jittery, paranoid, anxious, uneasy, and just not feel peaceful. We can get to a place where you may need that to call in peace into your life. Like, you could decide, like, your mind will trick you into thinking that now you have to smoke to feel peaceful. And we forget that the feelings that we're searching for are within us, but they're a lot of times hidden underneath. And because weed numbs you, like weed gives you that instant happy, and it doesn't, you're not really being real with yourself. Like, how do you actually feel? A lot of times we're trying to run away from that because it's painful, it's hard, it's tough, and we want the quick fix. And so that's not true peace. Like, yeah, maybe it is for that hour or two, but then you have to smoke again. And so then that's not really inner peace. It's actually creating inner chaos, you know, because we don't want to rely on things outside of us to bring us peace. Like, we can learn how to generate that peace within us. Just tap into that peace within us naturally, you know. And so for anybody who's serious about quitting, there's just so many things I've learned and so many things that I have to share with you. So I am creating a course right now on how to quit weed and truly do it. And so it's a detailed way to stop, and stop for good, and heal yourself. You know, I didn't go to any rehab, I didn't go to any classes, I didn't have anybody like mentoring me. And so I was able to learn how to do it with the help of really God. That's really how I see it. And so I'm sharing all those things with the course. And so it'll probably be linked down below. It's coming out soon, so check it out. I'm going to link it to all the videos. If you're serious about stopping, then this is like a guaranteed way to help you, and you can have it for life. Reference it. And so check it out if you're serious. And so it's supposed to make you, weed is supposed to make you feel peaceful, but what it can do is, like, these days it's so strong. Like, is it even natural anymore? What they're doing to it, it's just can turn you into like a zombie, it's a lot of heavy energy, and it can weigh you down. Like, you know, a lot of times if you smoke, you might pass out for a nap and be out for like hours, or like overconsume eating with the munchies, right? You're like moving slower, it's taking you longer to do stuff. And trust me, I know that at times if you smoke, let's say you have a project to work on or you have something to do, it might motivate you in that moment. Oh, I did it high, I was focused on it, because it can help you hyper focus. But the contrast is sometimes, especially if you smoke an indica, it can make you slower moving. And so it's like you're moving in slow motion. And so ideally it would cause peace. But if you get to a place where it's making you anxious, jittery, paranoid, zombie-like, you can't find peace without the weed, that might be a sign that you might want to stop. Put it down. Can you put it down? And we are so powerful. It's not that our bodies are addicted to marijuana. That's my conviction. No. It's all about the mindset. If your mind tells you and you agree with your mind, you're going to do it. But if you decide to stop, like, then you will. You're powerful, but you have to first believe it, that you can stop. So, you know, I told you guys that I checked out my old videos from 2 years ago. And when I was looking at that girl, I just felt like kind of sad, you know, because your eyes are the windows to your soul, okay? The eyes are the window to the soul. And what does weed do? Okay, we're gonna keep it real, we're gonna keep it honest. Hazy eyes, yellow eyes, gray eyes, glazed over, zoned out, low eyes, like unhealthy. And I think that, like, when I see those videos, I feel like my face was like so puffed out, like not in a healthy space. Your eyes can even get bloodshot, you know. And I think that because I was smoking for so long, it even caused like almost like a lazy eye. I'm so serious. And I didn't notice any of these things at the time, like, but I was just trying to I was just trying to change. So I really don't care about anybody out there who's like judging and things like that. Like, I honestly don't care, because I'm just keeping it real and honest. Like, this channel is about self-healing. And so we can change. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't change, that you're stuck, that you're something for the rest of your life. Like, everyone can make mistakes. It's okay. But I think that, like, my eye health was suffering. And since I've stopped, I've noticed my eyes are clearer. Like, I don't have a lazy eye. Like, I was born with like this color in one of my eyes, but that's been since I was little. And so everything starts in the inner world, and then you'll see it on your outside world. And think about it like smoke is going in your body constantly. It's taking over. And that's the other thing. It's like, this is something nobody tells you about smoking weed. Like, there is a dark side to smoking weed. Marijuana herself is an entity, okay? And so everything is energy, and it can't be created or destroyed, just transferred. So think about it. It's an herb, it's a plant. It has its place. Just like you could have basil, cilantro, okay, flowers, roses, created by Mother Gaia. They all have their purpose, and we're free to use them. But when you let it dry out, whatever, you smoke it, you decide to do that, or tea, or however you vape, whatever it is you want to do, bong, if that's what you do. But you are then ingesting and taking on that entity. You are going to be in a different state. You are then allowing a spirit, an energy, an essence, and you can see it, right? Because it's smoke, into you. And you're allowing it to take over your eyes, your mind, your body. Your whole body is going to smell of weed, and you are going to be in a completely different state. Now, is that your state? No, it's not. You might feel so happy. Okay, it's chemically changing your brain cells. Like, it's messing with you chemically. So is that really true happiness? Maybe it feels like it in the moment, but it's synthetic. Like, it's not real. And so I'm so cautious of the words I use, because I'm not against weed. Like, I don't think it's evil. I don't think it's harmful, but it can become harmful in excess. Like, if somebody uses it for healing or as a turn up, that's their choice. But what this video is about is like consistent use and feeling lost in it, like feeling like you can't stop, because that's when it's time to break free. You should never feel like you need something to feel happy, or you need something just to live your life. Like, that's when you know it's off balance, because you are already everything that you need. And so that's something I didn't see. Like, I was calling in that entity at that moment, and like I said, we don't know what they're doing to the weed these days. Of course, they're putting stronger stuff, they're mixing strands, they're doing all types of stuff, right? Not all energy is positive, okay? There is negative energy. Spirits, it's a real thing. And so, same thing with alcohol. It's a spirit, right? And so it's like you're taking something in, and you're allowing it to replace you, taking over your spirit at the time. Be aware of this. I didn't see it that way. I didn't see it that seriously. But now looking back, I can see that through my eye health and through, it's just like thinking about how smoke makes you cough, right? Like, your body in essence is like rejecting it. And think about it, like, you're acting different when you're on weed. Oh, you're super happy, giggly, maybe more promiscuous, maybe more daring, maybe more wild, maybe you're driving faster in the car, maybe you're going to turn up at the club. Like, it will make you do things you don't normally do, or so-called more creative, okay, or whatever spin you want to put on it. So that alone lets us know that weed in herself is an entity, and that you're ingesting and taking in. And so this is the dark side, because we don't fully know what that is. So this is a spiritual way to look at it. So the dark side of smoking weed, so we talked about how it's an entity, it's a spirit, it's an energy, and that can take over your body. You can feel disturbed. I know that we say that, oh, it makes you feel peaceful, but it can also disturb you. I remember being hyper paranoid, closing the blinds in my house, feeling like people are thinking this or saying this about me, or the doorbell rings, who is it? And there could be long-term effects from long-term use of marijuana. Like, And these are things people don't talk about. Unhealthy. Like I could see it in my eyes when I look at those videos. I could see it in my face. And, you know, overconsumption. It's just not healthy. I know that weed is seen as like something cool to do. Like in our generation, oh, you're so cool, you smoke weed, like, right? And there's a whole identity that can be formed around it, but it kind of just puts a mask over who you really are. That's been my experience. It's like I wouldn't really know who I was when I was smoking weed because my true self was hidden underneath that, underneath the smoke, underneath the habits. It takes so much energy to smoke weed. Like your mind is constantly thinking about it. Then it's like you gotta go get it, and then it's the whole process of it. Who are you linking up with? Other people are gonna do it with you, or you're gonna do it alone? Are you buying a joint wrap, or what's it called? Like it's such a process. It takes energy and time and focus, your attention. I remember when I stopped smoking, I recognized like how much time it was sucking out of my life. And so it's not cool to smoke. Like honestly, this is not a dare campaign, you know, dare to stop doing drugs. Like what I'm saying is that what's really cool is who are you really, like naturally. Think about kids. Like I have a kid who's in first grade, and I cherish who she is. Like right now, she's just still so pure, like untainted by the world, fresh, really her. And she's so creative. She's such a beautiful soul. And I pray that she stays true to herself and doesn't feel like she needs to be something else to be accepted or to feel like good. Right? So it's like, I think that we could reach for weed because it puts a mask over who we are. Maybe we think we're not good enough. Maybe we think we have to be something different than what we are. Or it's just like, we don't need it, basically. And so what's really cool is knowing yourself and being able to cultivate the feelings you want from within you. This is how you step into your power, is when you know how to feel good naturally. Like you know you're in tune with yourself. If you're feeling sad or hurt, facing yourself and working through that so that you can elevate, grow, and heal and become better, feel better. You can do it, and you can do it without weed or liquor or whatever else. You know, it's like, it kind of is like we give our power away if we're constantly reaching for substances. When you just let it go, it can feel scary because, okay, now you gotta just be with your real feelings. Now you have to face any difficulties. And I know that life is not easy. Like people turn to substances because of harsh things that have happened in their life. And so it's not always your fault. But once you get to a place where you want to stop, okay, now you're in the mental space to take ownership and accountability over your life and release things. You know, like on my spiritual journey, it's all about letting go. Like letting go of the things that hurt me, forgiving, choosing to love myself and forgive myself, choosing to love others and focus on things that are healthy for me. And so that's what's cool. Like that's what's cool. Not having to go pick up every Friday. So the last thing I want to share with you guys is that, you know, there's this idea that weed is so healthy. Oh, it's so healing. Oh, it's the cure for this and that. And once again, I'm not like, I see both sides. I see both sides. And so this is a video I haven't done yet on this channel because it's a new perspective that I have years later. Because let me tell you, I was so down for weed. I was so down for ganja. It made me feel so good for so long and just helped me. And that's what I needed at the time. So it's not about shame. Shame is a low vibration, but it's just about self-awareness and learning how to climb the vibration, like raise your vibration past that of the weed, because weed makes you feel good, but it calibrates at a certain level. You can feel better than that, and peace is like one of the highest vibrations. Learning how to feel peace without that substance, right? And so they say that weed is so healthy, but what about your emotional health? Okay, and this is something I've been focusing on within myself. I don't know about you guys, but for me, the way that I was raised and the way the world is, it's been so hardened. Like if somebody is sensitive, if somebody's in tune with their feelings, they're seen as weak, or nobody has time for that, or who cares? Just fall in line, follow the rules. It doesn't matter how you feel. This is what it is. And that's not true. Like, we're not taught how to love ourselves. We're not taught that our feelings matter, and your feelings do. And so in this world, we suppress our feelings. We avoid feelings, especially ones that don't feel good, things that are painful. It could be something so small, but if you don't face it, it stays stuck in you, and things add up over time. And so weed is like the quick fix. Is it so healthy for you emotionally? No, because it's like you're detached from what's really going on inside. Feeling numb, feeling apathetic. And apathetic is just like, you don't really care, like whatever. That's the main thing with weed, right? It's a big old whatever. Your mama tells you to do something you don't want to do, smoke some weed, whatever. You gotta wash your car, you don't feel like doing it, smoke some weed, whatever. Take the dog for a walk, whatever, smoke some weed. Your boyfriend did this or that, let me smoke some weed, whatever. You know, it's like a huge whatever. But do you want to live your whole life that way? And so for me, I just feel like emotionally it's not healthy, because it puts like a filter over what's really going on and makes you think you're happy. But then once you're not high anymore, you're in the exact same space, you're actually lower because you didn't deal with it. Like I said, things add up. And so I've just learned now, being sober, how to be fully present with myself. And it's not always fun, but you're going to get to know yourself on the deepest level, learn how to really be there for yourself. And you're going to be so powerful in this world where a lot of people are looking to the outside to feel good inside. But when you're sober, and when you learn the tools to be there for yourself and be emotionally healthy, there's nothing you can't handle in this life. You learn how to be your authentic self, problem solve. You learn how to let go. You learn how to persevere. You learn how to be resilient, and you recognize your strength, inner strength. You know, like when you overcome smoking, it's such a beautiful catalyst for other types of growth in your life, because you're like, oh, I did it. I didn't think I could, but I did it. Now what else can I do? And you recognize new goals. There's new mountains to climb, new life to live. You know, I feel like one of the biggest things is that weed just kind of keeps you stuck in a certain vibration, in a certain place. So when you learn to break free, it's just kind of like a fresh start, and you have new possibilities that open up for you inside, outside, and it's just like you create a new world for yourself. And like my brother told me, it's like weed's gonna always be there, you know, because like when I stopped smoking, I gave myself a challenge, a 30-day challenge. And at the time, that's what I needed. I didn't want to see it as like, oh, I'm never gonna smoke again, because that was too difficult. Instead, I was like, let me go 30 days, challenge myself. I know I could do 30. So it's like about baby steps, and that turned into way more days, right? And so I hope that these tips helped you. These are some of the reasons why I stopped smoking weed, but more so, this is the dark side of smoking weed. Okay, and so drop me your comments down below. Check out my course if you're serious about stopping. I know, and I promise you that it will help you. I'm sending you so much love, so much power and healing on your journey. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in my next video.